Good morning, everyone. It's Pops.
Good morning.
And Asic Eric. We're just out here today looking at trim here. Just threw this trim piece back on. It's just sort of sitting there. I'll come back to that in a second. I was looking at this thing, and remember in the last video we were talking about this didn't line up very well. So I bought these aftermarket clips a long time ago to check this. And realize the way this thing fits on here, basically, that's not staying there. You can adjust this space because I redid all these things, so there's no mounting tabs or anything for these. So kind of put this wherever you want it to go, like that. And it's perfect. So I don't have to do anything with this. You see, pull that out of the way. You can see how this is all out of alignment and everything here. But this thing covers it up anyway, so who cares? The only difference, of course, being if we ever decide to run it without the chrome clips, then that's going to look funny. So there is that. Oh, true. Well, maybe I'll still build that up a little bit. But in any event, this will cover up the sins there. So plan for today. This gap here is too big relative to this. This is 3/16, which would be perfect, but as we said before, we can't make these 3/16 because the doors rub. Partially you can see on this one, straight edge here, the fender doesn't line up with the car. That's just that spot right there, right? It's fine right here. All right, so that, I don't know if you can see it in the video there, but the fender nose dives right there, or yeah, fender nose dives. So we can't really tighten this up very much. Pops and I were just talking, I'm past splitting this thing and trying to reconstruct this and make it look right. I'm not gonna bother with that at this point. So I gotta open this up to match this down here. The other side I think is pretty much ready to go. It's got the same issue as the other side, but less severe. This just doesn't line up quite as well here. Same thing, but I think I'm just gonna let that go. That's good enough. Yeah, so I will be doing the metal work today. Pops is gonna continue on the other stuff. We're still getting all this stuff sorted out here, getting all the epoxy sanded down, get the paint off the E-coat or whatever that crap is on the fenders off. So we got about half the car done probably. So just this back portion here, and that's it. So I'm gonna get to work. All right, Kevin, this one's for you. So I got this guy out here to try and measure the gaps here. This is pretty inconsistent, as you can see even here. This thing's broken, I'm sorry that battery's dead, but just to give you an idea of the gaps here, it's pretty okay down here at the bottom. Here it's not quite a 16th out, but a little bit. It touches right there. So what I did, I used this guy to mark some lines here. Hopefully you can see those little lines. I don't have a nice clean edge here like I always watch the machinists do, where they just take this and run it along the edge. Doesn't work for me. I tried. This goes pretty far down into here. I'm not sure I want to dig into this too much down here because it's gonna split the fender there, the fold over there. Then I'm gonna have to re-weld it. So I may just leave that right there. This I welded before to move it further over for the other door, and I have to put it back, so hopefully I can just grind that off without splitting it. But we'll take it step at a time here. So I got the 2-inch roll lock. I put a 30 grit or something pretty aggressive on there and go for it.
put a 3-inch disc on here, might reach better. I can do that.
I'm going to reset this guy for this gap here. It's a little tighter. Lock him down right there. I don't have to open this up. Oh, that's it. That fits right there. See that there. See the fender split right there. Just gonna have to weld that up. Alright, I haven't welded anything in months, so hopefully this works. I'm not even sure my welding helmet's gonna work. Doesn't seem to be too bad. Feels good to weld again.
Yeah.
Grind that out, see how that looks. This has got a little bit of a hole that I'm not going to be able to get from here. I have to wait for the fender to come off before I can get it. I'm going to try to get down low there. Try. Well, the welding mask is working, that's nice.
That's good.
Trying to get down underneath the bottom of the fender here is really tricky. You can't open the door because the door just covers it up, so that doesn't help.
Can open the door with what?
Well, we can try it. Grind that back, see how it looks. No, I was just thinking if I open the door, it's just going to cover up what I'm trying to do as that thing tilts, but it might open up enough. We'll see. Pretty decent. Shoot in there. You can probably see that better than I can. Got that sealed up pretty well in there. Again, I'll have to dress the welds from the back when I take the fender off. For now, that's pretty good. So I'm going to try and see if I can file this down and round this edge over here somehow. That welder still works. That's exciting.
Cool.
Got the course file here. Ideally, I'd use a round file, but I don't think I have. Let's see if I have another file here. I have some small files, but they're fine, so that won't work. Okay, pretty good. Get the finer file out. That with some 80 on a 2-inch roll lock, so it's got some flex to it. Let's see if I can round that off a little bit. Might be okay. It's kind of hard to measure the radius of these things, but tell me what you think. It does look pretty comparable. Let's see, how does the gap look? Pretty decent. That's snug right there. A little tight right there. Let's see how much gap there is down there. But to open that up anymore here, I gotta really dig into this fender, which I don't feel like doing. I think that's good enough. Yeah, it looks pretty decent, I think. All right. All right, we're taking a quick snack break. Give you an update where we are. So Pops is working his way around the back. I'll zoom out here, sorry. Back on the trunk here. See, this guy's pretty flat. It's looking pretty good. There's a dent we found there, but that's going to be under the spoiler, so I'm not sure we care too much about that. This fender's all stripped here down to metal. So the only thing left on this side of the car is the rocker down there, and then the front of the car here. And I got to strip this guy still, so I'm gonna get to work on that. That's messy work. Whew. That was rough. So Pops kicked butt on the back of the car here. Get it? Yeah.
But, and,
Yeah. So this is all done in 220 now. There's a little bit of touch up left to do back here, but that's pretty well done. So we got this rocker, the rocker on the other side. Fenders are both stripped. This is in 220. We'll come back in 320 and finish this up. Lower valence, got to do that. That's it. Yeah. So it's all blocking out pretty nice. We didn't really find any surprises anywhere, right? Did you find any surprises anywhere?
no, I was looking over here. If this is a screw or paint, I don't know if you're looking here. That one.
Oh, right.
If it's paint, we'll knock it off. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah, it's probably some body filler.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one of those on that side over there too. Yeah, so it looks pretty good. So our plan, and people can tell me what you think about this plan. Basically everything external on the car, like these channels, here, but not up in here. You can't really see that up in there. So we're going to mask the car off, just so the exterior stuff. This already has epoxy in it, so I don't really need to do it again, but I'm kind of tired of looking at this in all these different colors. Everything on the outside, we'll just scuff this up. This is all covered up with trim anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The outside of the car, we're not going to do the jambs right now. This is my plan. So we'll basically paint the car as you see it. So we'll cover, tape all this stuff off, paper it off so you can't see it, close the hood, trunk, everything, and just spray epoxy as you see it. If that makes sense. So we'll scuff down on these edges here, but not, so there'll be some overspray down in there. We're not going to worry about it right now. All the inside still needs to be finished. And we'll paper all this stuff up so we're not getting paint all up inside there. So that's the plan. So there'll be a couple of weeks from now probably. So the plan is then put this in another coat of epoxy, or 2 coats of epoxy depending on how we feel. And then I'm going to take a week off of work. Pops and I are going to bust it out hopefully. And then once the epoxy's on there, then we'll go through any place we need body filler and stuff, clean up. Like, these fenders have never had any body work done on them, so they'll probably have some things that need to be addressed. So get the epoxy on, do the body filler, smooth it as best we can. And then over the course of that week, get it as clean as we think we can get it. And then put the 2K high build primer on top of that. And that's going to be the PPG, I forget the name of it. Whatever, I'll tell you next time. The PPG primer. I'm sticking with PPG's products across the board here just so I make sure I don't have any worries, because it's waterborne paint and I don't want to run into any trouble. So we'll put, 3 coats of high build on it, sand it down, see how it looks, wash, rinse, repeat until it's done. Yeah?
So we can get the Packard in here. What?
And then we can get the Packard in here, yeah. But it's blocking out real nice. Russ asked this question. They had another second gen guy, Dad. It's so clean. Why are you even doing this? Why do you even need?
Boy, killing the old man here.
Yeah. Why do you even need 2K primer? Just paint it. Or put the sealer on it and paint it. And that's largely true. It's pretty darn straight. But we did, from the previous coat of epoxy, there's a lot of sanding scratches and stuff in it. So we're trying to get all the sanding scratches and everything out, and that's going to leave it a little thin. So we're not going to have any room for sanding any imperfections out at all. So the 2K primer, hopefully one and done. You know, spray it on there and sand it, and we're finished. And then it's ready for sealer, I hope. But we'll see. So if anybody has any commentary on that plan, please let me know. We probably have one more weekend. We should be able to wrap all of this sanding stuff up. And then it's ready for that week-long blitz. That's probably going to be the week of the 20th, something like that. Main thing I'm not so sure about is all the jams and stuff. I wasn't planning on priming all those things now because once all this body work is done, we have to take the car apart again, and then we can do all the jams and everything at that point. So as long as that plan sounds reasonable to you, let me know. Oh, yeah. One thing Pops and I were discussing earlier today. Ugh, these guys, being on the outside where they are, and you can see I'm still fighting with the gaps on these. I don't see how you can paint the inner side of the fender lip here with these things on. I mean, usually when people are painting the car at the end, you know, they spray the wheel wells and they're done, but I can't with this thing here. So I'm thinking, just like the other jams and things, I'm going to have to paint this off the car basically, and then put this back on, and then we basically have to do a soft edge here and blend that, because I won't be able to get any paint up there. Again, let me know if you feel differently. Or, you know, we can do it like this if I can leave this thing loose and then, you know, just shoot some paint up in there. But this will have to be painted first, basically, along with, you know, the inside of the fenders and all that stuff. So let me know about that. Yeah. Okay, that's going to do it. Any last words?
Nope, good night.
Adios. See you guys later. Take care. Thanks.